Hey, what is up everybody? This is Sap2 back at it again, y'all, with another amazing video. If you guys can't tell by today's video, I'm gonna be kind of giving my personal opinion slash review of Call of Duty Vanguard's beta, which, to say the least, if you guys can't tell by the title, I don't recommend you guys to really buy the game because, all these people might say, well, it was made during a pandemic and it's only the beta. We'll see the finished product during the end of the game, when the game comes out. I can already assure you that the game is gonna be pretty similar to how it is right now in the beta, with a few minor changes here and there, like the spawn fix for the Sledgehammer is saying is coming for that one game mode in general. But if you guys did not watch the live stream I made like 2 days ago or yesterday, depending on what time I posted this video, that video, basically the live stream, I gave my first impressions of the game, because that was the first time of me playing it, even loading it up, as you guys saw in the live stream. So if you guys did not get the chance to watch the live stream, or don't want to go back and watch like an hour-long video, I'll give you kind of a recap of what I said from my first impression. So basically I'll just talk about minute things, talk about like I said, spawns, stuff like that. And I'm gonna go more in depth in this video, but that's basically what the live stream was about, was just my first preferences of the game, playing it for the first time, stuff like that. So let's go over it. So is Vanguard okay? I mean, it's I don't know, like, it is playable, okay? It's not like a completely broken game. I'll give it that, for having like a little under a year and a half of development cycle. It's okay. I guess. I mean, to be honest, we've seen a lot of worse games that have had a longer time of of development, but yet again, there's not much to Call of Duty, to like make like a big point, is what I'm saying. It's like, they don't really try anymore, and that's kind of what this game is suffering a lot from, as in recent years of Call of Duty, is there's like no innovation. And honestly, I even think it's a little bit worse, because okay, so here's my main point, is if you guys haven't watched gameplay of it on the PS4 or the last gen Xbox, you guys can tell that the graphics are pretty shit. Like how in the world do you take Modern Warfare 2019's engine, which is what it's built on? The menus look the exact same, everything from down to the everything is the exact same from Modern Warfare 2019. How do you take that and make the graphics look worse? Like, they look really bad, like, for a PS4 game. Like, I don't understand how, even I would say Cold War, in my personal opinion, has even better looking graphics than Call of Duty Vanguard. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, how can you take a game's engine, which has like even better graphics than any Call of Duty, to this day, have even worse than Call of Duty Vanguard? Like, and they're using the same engine. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I feel like there's like a filter, on Call of Duty World War II that just kind of, makes like the colors like look like mute, like it doesn't like have like that color shine, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have that glow to the colors. Like even like the muzzle flashes and stuff doesn't have like that nice glow that you expect, to have, even though muzzle flashes aren't real. If you know how to shoot, if you've ever shot real guns, really aren't real. They don't have like that nice glow they do like in Modern Warfare 2019. They don't have that nice glow effect on it. I don't know like what it's about, but it just doesn't have that. And also like the sound of the guns, the sound of the footsteps, when you do hear them, every once in a blue moon, like the sound like system for this game is just bad. Like, the guns don't sound as realistic, which they don't have to sound realistic, is what I'm saying. But it's just like, when they're using the same engine, like as Modern Warfare 2019, which has, I would say, some of the best, realistic sound effects in a Call of Duty game ever to date, how do you fuck that up? Like, how do you take that and ruin it? Because the gun sound so like fake, like they sound fake, like they sound generated. In Modern Warfare 2019, like the guns had a nice bassy, they felt real. They had real echo effects, and they had that awesome bass. They upped the bass, which in real life, which I've shot many guns in real life, do make those sounds. Like, they are more bassy than anything. in all honest terms. I don't know how they took that sound system and made it worse. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. How'd you ruin the sounds? And also, like, I can't hear a damn thing, in which I've seen a lot of players complaining about, even during the beta when I was playing it, was talking about how you don't really hear sounds. Like, you don't hear the footsteps, which is, no problem, since dead silence isn't a perk, but there's a problem with that. When you mute the sounds and don't balance it like you do in, like, even Black Ops 4, where the footsteps were just, loud enough to where you could hear them, but not too loud and not too aggressive. Like, you didn't need to feel like you needed the dead silence perk. Is where it's really bad, because like Modern Warfare 2019, it sounded like you do need, to always be having the dead silence perk to do anything, because you could hear somebody running from halfway across the map. And, I guess Sledgehammer thought to counteract that problem was to make the few steps so hard to hear that you kind of really don't need dead silence, and you kind of need a perk where you can hear footsteps, because it's ridiculous. Like, you can only hear them when they're walking, like, on metal. Like, for example, on the Grunhoff map, whatever, the one with the tank, like, the kind of little destroyed ship in the middle. That's, like, when you're on the ship, that's the only time you're gonna hear footsteps, is when you're on that ship, which is weird, to say the least, because it's like, how do you do that? And another thing that I have to say generally across all of the maps that I've played is the spawns are messed up. You could literally sit in an enemy spawn and they will literally spawn right in front of you. I played a game just today where I was literally spawning literally in front of enemies. I even have enemies spawning in front of me. There was even a point where we're spawning in the same location right next to each other. Literally right next to each other. How do you mess up spawns this bad? Like, oh my gosh. I would say the worst map for spawns is that Hotel Royale, okay? That map has the worst spawns I've ever seen in the Call of Duty game, okay? It doesn't make sense. Like, there is no... Like, it doesn't make sense. Even the attention to detail that a lot of people praise Modern Warfare 2019 are having, which I do agree with, doesn't make sense. Like, it's the same engine. Like, for example, when you're playing that map and you throw a grenade onto, like, the window, the four-way windows that you can destroy to jump down into the lower floor, they won't destroy it. You have to directly shoot them with bullets. Like, that's an attention to detail that doesn't make sense to me, okay? I know it's just a beta, but come on. You need to have those kinds of attentions to detail. Also, it'll make gameplay so much better, because then you could throw a grenade, and if someone's standing on it, like an enemy, they'll drop down, like, oh shit, that's a good gameplay mechanic, but it's not there. And I don't know, like, why these maps just suck. Like, that's the only thing that I really is disappointing to me from seeing Sledgehammer, today, is that their maps are bad. Like, Sledgehammer's old maps, or even Call of Duty World War II, were even better. Like, they were way better. Like, in World War II, a lot of the maps made sense. And even at the time, honestly, I feel like a lot of World War II's maps were more fun than games that we had at the time. How do you fuck this up? Even Modern Warfare 13 had its few problem of maps, having really bad, some bad maps, but that's every game in general. Even Cold War has some, Miami's for one, but, like, I don't know why Sledgehammer and kind of Infinity Ward can't get map design right. Like, Treyarch, they can get map designing correctly. Like, Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, you need to go over to Treyarch Studios, have a conversation, see how the fuck they make their maps, because these maps suck. Like, the only one that is playable to an extent is the Guntov map, which is, like I said, the one with the shipwreck in the middle. The other map, Red Star, way too big for 6v6, even way too big for 10v10, because it's just people camping, or people, they only use the main building, and you spawn halfway across the map, so you have to, like, run through, like, an open field to get back to that area, and you get shot. Like, there isn't, like, balancing on the maps. Like I'm saying, like, Infinity Ward, Treyarch have the, great, thing of mastering balance of maps, which makes them feel playable for a variety of gameplays. And where they have short lanes, they have long lanes, they have flanking paths, they have mid-range, maps. For example, like Echelon, they have pretty much two sections where, mainly for snipers and LMGs, right? Long-range contacts. And then they have the middle area, which is for more running, gunning, close quarters combat, mid-range weapons, so you can shoot across, like, that little hole, in between the two sections of the building. Then you have the two flanking routes on the side, and even those have even their own flanking routes to flank your enemies if they're in that little, like, areas and stuff like that. So you can even flank them, which is amazing. Like the flow of the maps feels perfect. It just, I don't know why Treyarch gets this so easy. Another thing that I have the question is, where's the content? Like there's really only like 6 guns for ARs, only 1 gun for marksman rifles, and only 2 shotguns. And they're not even shotguns that they had in World War II. Like, Sledgehammer, you can reuse weapons from your old game. And in fact, a lot of those weapons were amazing because, a lot of people didn't know those weapons actually existed during World War II. So it was like a kind of a good history lesson. If you're like, hey, I've never seen this gun before, let me look it up, see if it's real. And they are. Like, how do you go backwards, on your own game? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, Sledgehammer here, like everything in this beta has shown me that they went backwards and made just an awful reskin of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Like, it's an awful reskin. Like, it doesn't deserve to be on the same engine. Like, just honestly, if all I ever care, you could have just recopied and pasted, Call of Duty World War II, copy and pasted, maybe change the system of having supply drops, maybe change that, take that out, but have the HQ area, have the same multiplayer style, same feel, a different campaign, of course, and it would have been an amazing game. Like, it would have been at least a decent game, It would be way better than this because you would have already had the same exact game. Like, how do you take a game, trying to improve your concept of your last game and make it worse? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, how do you mess that up? How? Like, how does that happen? Like, I don't know. And to be honest, for, the standard consumer, who is not like me, who, makes Call of Duty videos, for a living, even then I have some doubts of even buying the game, to be honest, if I'm going to be honest with you. You don't need to buy the game. Honestly, just wait for Warzone to come out and play with your boys and play skill-based matchmaking in there, because it's just going to have the same feeling, if not worse feeling, in 6v6 multiplayer. Because honestly, I've been playing games on here, and all it is constant, people either drenching in sweat, sweating their nuts off, snorting on G Fuel, or fucking Jimmy No Thumbs camping in a fucking building, with an LMG. That's all I've been playing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's all I've been playing. But I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Sledgehammer has balanced weapons. Okay, overall, LMG's a little bit overpowered, but that's another, that's just a different thing, right? But the weapons feel balanced. For example, ARs or rifles, if you were to be politically correct, feel like rifles in this game. SMGs feel like SMGs. Like the Thompson, really not that great at long range, but it's awesome at close quarters. STG, pretty good at mid range, and it is a well balanced gun, in terms, because like, oh, well, I got wrecked by this SMG across the map, but I wreck his ass when I'm using the Thompson. It makes sense, right? But anyway, that's all we have for today's video, guys, because I'm running out of time here. If you guys want to check out some links in the description below to help support the channel, please do. And if not, always just subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also like up the video. Comment down below, what are your some preferences or things that need to change for World War II? And I'll discuss them in the comment section with you guys. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Peace out.